So this is your first appearance? You will be appearing for the interview for the first time, or have you appeared for civil services interview earlier also?
Ma'am, this is my first interview, but second attempt.
Second attempt. And your optional is law?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me a little about yourself, which is not covered in the DEF. Something interesting.
As my name is written in the DEF, I'm Jaspinder Singh, and I come from village, and where I have been living with my mother, father, and grandmother and grandfather as well.
Right.
And secondly, I have done my schooling from Muxar itself, that is in Punjab. And I have the quality of being very humble and polite, with which I can interact with the people around me in a very calm manner, and this helps me making good friends in a
okay, Jaspinder.
Yes,
I see the background that you come from your parents are mostly into agriculture.
Yes.
Recently there was you are aware that the Kisan rally was there, and there was a lot of resentment, and then the bill was repealed.
Yes, ma'am.
After that, there is a report of the court. Are you aware of the report? It has been made public now?
Yes, ma'am. The court didn't make the report public, but yes, one of the members of that committee.
Yes. Do tell me about it.
Yes, ma'am. Mr. Shaketkar, his name is, he's part of that committee, and he has made the report public, and that was with respect to what do farmers really want. And in that report, the committee it says that majority of the farmers, they need the intervention of the corporates as per the laws. That
what could be the reason why the small farmers, the smallest farmers, cannot handle it all by themselves? They need an intervention, right? As you said. So what could be the reason? What is the land holding of small farmers in your area or in your state?
Ma'am, in my state, there are more number of the farmers who are having on an average, the land holding is approximately 7 to 10 acres.
Right. But in all over India, the land holding is about 1 acre.
Yes, ma'am.
1 acre also.
Yes.
Especially in Bihar, in UP, there are maximum number of farmers who it's not commercially viable for them.
Yes.
So the bill was very was a good medium for those farmers. But your state revolted the most. However, what could be the reason why this revolt happened?
Yes, ma'am.
And where did the government could not handle it?
Yes, ma'am.
What could be the 3 reasons? Very brief. Tell me your answer in priority.
The first reason, ma'am, that the farmers, they say, they were not consulted before the bills came into existence. Secondly, ma'am, with respect to corporatization, the farmers are having certain doubts when we talk about corporates with respect to contract farming, that their bargaining power is lesser than the bigger companies. That is the second reason. And thirdly, ma'am, they are having a doubt that this MSP regime from the state of Punjab, this might go by as the APMC.
Okay, my next question to you is, if MSP goes away, it is there, but you get better offer from somebody else. Why not? I'll ask you another question. Frito-Lays, they have a base in Punjab,
yes,
right?
Yes,
so the small farmers were giving potatoes there. Did it harm them? The only thing is the government has not used its soft skills before making the bill. That must be one reason.
Yes.
So what is your take? How did your father react to that?
Ma'am, as you rightly said, that more options are to be created, and if those options are better than APMC Mandi, then they must be taken up by
that choice. That choice the bill was giving this choice.
Yes, yes, ma'am. That is the bills were giving this choice.
So, do you think that the bill in a better form, addressing all the grievances, should be reintroduced in Parliament?
Yes, ma'am. When we talk about, because agriculture reforms are direly needed, ma'am, in our country.
We are an agrarian society, yes, and the reforms, if we do not do it, then we will not be becoming number one, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Let's go to your subject, law.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me, what is judicial review?
Judicial review of any law, that is to check the constitutionality of the law by the Honorable Supreme Court. And this power comes from Article 13, read with Article 32 of the Indian Constitution.
Does the Supreme Court has the power to review its own decisions?
Ma'am, normally in our country, this doesn't happen, that a law can be reviewed by the Supreme Court without having a petition into it. This is not a normal
scenario. Also Supreme Court can review in rare cases, yes, where some they feel that the law has become redundant or something, yes, has... Let's go to Karnataka and talk about hijab. Just give me what is the judgment of the Karnataka High Court and on what principle it is based.
Now, when we talk about hijab judgment,
yes, be very brief. Yeah.
Karnataka High Court, it says that hijab is not essential religious practice, and the in the public places like schools, having a code with respect to hijab is very much constitutionally valid, and that there is no it is not unconstitutional.
What principle they have based their judgment? Because you are a law student, you should know. And what judgment they have quoted?
They have quoted judgments. I don't know the exact names of the judgments.
Doesn't matter. The principle
of Kerala and of Tamil Nadu High Courts judgments.
They have also quoted Supreme Court judgment Puttu Swami, where doctrine of essentiality,
yes,
has been defined. So it doesn't, hijab doesn't come under that. Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Farm agitation. Farmers' agitation was a very small pocket of the farmers. They came out, partly Western UP, partly Haryana, almost entire Punjab, but not other states. They were participating into it. What was the reason?
Sir, 6% of farmers are getting MSP, and this MSP is basically given in this belt because of Green Revolution. It started here, and this is the major reason, because other farmers, they are not getting MSP regularly on their
farmers. They are getting MSP throughout India, even if say they are 6%, but they are not only major from Western UP, Punjab or Haryana.
Sir, the APMC mandis of Punjab, Haryana and Uttar Pradesh, Western Uttar Pradesh, are of much better quality than the other portion of our country.
How do you say the quality is better?
So because of there are certain reports which say that on 18 kilometer square area there is one APMC mandi in Punjab, and in Haryana also there is such number. But when we talk about Northeast, when we talk about Bihar, in Northeast there is 400 square kilometer where there is no APMC mandi. So we can see that the market or APMC mandis are not closer enough to the farmers. So this is one of the major reason that this APMCs are not well developed in other part of India, sir.
So it is only APMC issue or the MSP. These are the two issues.
These are the basic issues, and also lack of trust on the corporates and lesser bargaining power of the farmer. This is another issue with respect to contract farmers.
But farmers were not forced to, it is very clear, if they want to sell it to the corporate, it's all right. If they don't want to sell it, it's they are not forced to.
Yes, sir. So this is a very fine thing that is supporting the bills, and it is and this is the more options must be given to the farmers, and these bills were giving that options. But from the area where I come from, the concern was...
Okay. One more point is, it is mostly for the cereal and pulses, not for other crops. And in other areas, these crops are less. Here, these crops are more.
Fine,
okay.
Sir.
Punjab, another issue of Punjab, and especially Punjab, and maybe because of fire in the farms. And that has really devastating effect in the northern Indian. How to get rid of it?
Sir, right now we are talking about, first of all, the laws are there with respect to that you have to grow your paddy crop after a certain date. So it can be shifted before, because that law can be changed so that the farmers are getting enough time.
But it is seasonal. Law cannot be changed with the season. If we cannot grow early varieties, it can be harvested early.
So the point is that 120 days of harvested rice crop, that PR 121, 124, they can be grown, which can be harvested early, and then the stubble can be decomposed in the farmer. Secondly, sir, we can use this stubble to generate electricity in such.
But it is not being followed.
Yes, sir, it must be followed. That is sad state of affairs that the work has not been done right now. But yes,
earlier we used to do it with hands. We used to harvest the crops with hands, and we used to cut it from the almost on the surface of the.
Yes.
Now we are mechanized farmers, and we are just using tools.
Yes, sir. But now the technology has also developed, where again from the roots, that is straw management system has been applied to the harvest.
You are very fond of moot courts.
Yes.
What is the difference between a moot court and actual court?
So moot court is a mock court where you are given mock proposition, and rest of it is just imitated of High Court proceedings, and the Supreme Court proceedings are imitated in the mock courts.
And what is actual court?
So actual court, this is for the purpose of adjudication of the constitutional and other appellate matters.
What is complaint and plaint?
So complaint, basically it is with respect to criminal law, where the complaint is registered or FIR is filed, or complaint in the court is also given with respect to crimes committed. And when we talk about plaint, it is with respect to civil laws and in the civil procedure codes.
Okay, good. What is, you are from Sikh community, what far meant this kada is?
So this kada is a symbol of character and identity, where you have to this reminds you that you are of a you have to maintain your character up.
Can it be used as a weapon also if some urgency comes?
So kada cannot be used as a weapon, sir. Like for that there is kirpan to use as a weapon for your protection, sir.
So why are you doing civil services? I think you could have become a very good lawyer. You have won many competitions, especially at Nalsar, Hyderabad.
Sir, I wanted to be into civil services from my school times, and I did law because it will be one of my ways of taking me closer to civil services. Why civil services? Because a civil servant, he's working. What he works is going to make difference in the lives of people, sir, and that gives you intellectual satisfaction. And for that, I want to be part of civil services, sir.
Okay. What is pro bono litigation?
So pro bono litigation is the litigation, we can say, free of cost, or when you want to help the people of the society, you do the litigation for them.
Do you think the top lawyers do a little bit less of pro bono litigation in India?
Yes, sir. This is a sad state of affairs that free legal service are not being provided that much by the top lawyers.
Is there any government policy to provide free legal service? What is the act also?
Yes, sir. The Act of 1987, that is there to provide the free legal aid. And even in the Constitution of India, it is mentioned under DPSPs. And later on, it is read as fundamental right under Article 21. So 39A and 21 of the Constitution, they provides right to free legal aid as a fundamental right as well, sir, by the Supreme Court, sir.
Okay. Yesterday, some action was taken by Punjab Police. You have heard of the case, and where Haryana Police and Delhi Police also subsequently got involved.
Yes, sir.
And so in that context, what is the rule for interstate arrests?
So first of all, it is very unfortunate incident that the state police, police at the state levels are not cooperating with each other or not following the norms. With respect to law, as it was held by the Honorable Supreme Court in judgment, right now I'm not able to recall the judgment, but the rule says that you have to take the written permission from your senior officer, and then you have to go. And when you go into another jurisdiction of another state, then you have to report there in the police. Again, when your remand is in transit, when you arrest a person and your remand is in transit, you have to present before the magistrate of that very area, and then you have to take the transit remand of that person so that you can travel with that person to your state. So this is the procedure, sir.
So what all laws were violated in this case?
Sir,
or what all procedural violations were there?
So section 48 with respect to arrest of a person.
Need not mention the section, just in principle what went wrong.
Yes, sir. The section is open that there is no procedure mentioned, but it was laid down in the Honorable Supreme Court's guidelines that yes, you have to follow. And it's basically with respect to jurisdiction. You're outside your jurisdiction, and then again you are charged for kidnapping because you're not taking the permission from that jurisdiction, sir.
Okay, all right. What is the issue regarding sedition laws and how should the government proceed now?
Sir, sedition laws 124A of Indian IPC, Indian Penal Code. Right now we are having more number of cases and the conviction rate is very lesser here, 1 or 2% as per NCRB data. So that is the major cause of concern, that it is said that this law is more of misused by the agencies. So that is the cause of concern, and it is again against the freedom of fundamental right of speech and expression, sir. And here we need to make it bailable and non-cognizable offense. And again, some judicial scrutiny should also be there before making the arrest for this sedition, sir.
Okay, all right. Now tell me, why are generally people, at least this is the perception, people are very scared of court and lawyers? Ideally, that is the institution of justice.
Yes, sir. Sir, the saying goes that doctors and lawyers, that God should save you from them. The major reason here is that they are too costly for a pocket, especially the lawyers, and then the procedural entanglement in which you have to go through. You have to follow each and every procedure of the law, the Evidence Act, and so this is a cumbersome process, and it takes too much of time. That one poet Surjit Patari said, "Birkh ho jande ne log insaf di udik vich." Like people become trees, like they're just waiting for the justice. So this is one of the delays, and the cost of the litigation is very high.
LIC is coming with the IPO. It is going on right now?
Yes, sir. IPO is, yes, sir, going on.
Yes. So what is the benefit of IPO to LIC?
Sir, when we talk about IPO, it will help in future investment again of IPO, because this is indication to the economy that yes, there might be disinvestment in the future. This is first thing that comes to my mind. And secondly, it is going to help the investors to invest, and like people can invest in it. So people can use it for their economic.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
So hello, Jaspinder.
Hello, sir.
I see you were born in Muktsar in Punjab.
Yes, sir.
What is the origin of the name Shri Muktsar Sahib? Why we call it Muktsar?
Sir, it is known as Muktsar Sahib for 40 Muktas. 40 Muktas were those who fought for Guru Gobind Singh Ji's army against the Mughal rulers, and they died in the battle of Muktsar, and that is it. That is why its name is Muktsar.
Muktsar. Okay.
Yes.
So Guru Gobind Singh Ji was fighting against the Mughals, against Aurangzeb. Aurangzeb has been a very controversial figure in Indian history. And recently, not very recently, some time back, one of the roads in Delhi was changed. Can you tell me the name? Which road was changed? Aurangzeb Road, to what name it was changed?
Sir, I cannot recall the name of the road.
Okay.
Right now.
Okay. Do you think that this should be done? This is a good practice. Like lots of cities in India are named after Aurangzeb. There is Aurangabad in Maharashtra, for example. Do you think that it is a good practice to change the name of the cities or roads which have been named after controversial or persons who have been in the controversy?
Sir, if we talk about name changing, and recently, yes, Madhavpura something was the recent name change that happened that I can recall. And yes, sir, personally speaking, I do not support the name changing, because it is adding to the burden to name changing economy. You have to change the names in the laws and in the various. So like this is very cumbersome process to change the name. But when we talk about people like Aurangzeb or such figures, you change the name. No doubt your intention is right, but I think we are having another matters to solve rather than changing the names of certain places.
Well, the sentiments don't matter. For example, somebody is like, if I know the ardas that is done in the gurudwaras, that actually talks about, you know, the sacrifices that have been made by the community.
Yes.
And the view is that there were, tyranny. So if somebody has a view that, you know, this name represents slavery or subjugation, don't you think that popular sentiment should be respected?
So when the demand comes from public, then we can think of doing that. But again, we have to weigh and balance that thing, that what we are doing must be in the...
So, okay, you're saying that the perception popular support has to be there, and otherwise it is not.
Otherwise, it's not required.
Okay, all right. The Punjab ka jo new government that has come in Punjab, so there is a controversy related to the lots of freebies that were promised, and again there is a and many economists are saying that the fiscal situation of Punjab is not very good. Under these circumstances, there is the coffers of government doesn't support that they can provide free electricity. Do you think that this is a good practice in terms of electoral democracy?
Sir, in short-term measures, freebies can be used as a symbol of upliftment of the people who are at the lower rung of the society by a welfare state, sir. And we are a welfare state. But in a long-term measure, as you said, that our revenues, they are not permitting us. So we must need to check it out, and we need to review them again and again and rationalize this.
Is there a difference between a freebie and a welfare measure? How would you differentiate between the two?
So freebies are given as in a welfare state, they are projected as given as a welfare measure. For example, farmers are waived off the electricity bill in Punjab. So when it is given to the poor farmers, then it is justified. It is a welfare measure. But when all the farmers or all across all the lines are getting it, then it gets the name of freebies. And this is not a rational practice that everybody is getting free electricity. So only those who are at the lower rank must get it. So.
Okay. Since you have put it this way, should agriculture income be taxed? Again, like you said that you can differentiate between class of farmers.
Yes, sir.
So should agriculture income be taxed? Again, taking into consideration the different class. Sir, and tell me, is it a union subject or a state subject, yes, agriculture income tax?
So this is a state subject, first of all. And so to have agriculture tax, the hurdle will be that all the state governments, they have to pass the laws. And
they can do it independently.
Yes,
each state can do it independently.
Yes, sir. I support the agriculture taxation in a form that it must be rationalized, again, like the freebies. Those who are having income or land holding above certain acres, they can be taxed. And also, sir, it will be helping evasion, to do away with the evasion of taxes, which people evade by saying that we are having this agriculture income. So there again, we will be getting much revenue chunk there. But again, we need to rationalize this. It should come from the public. Like again, we cannot say that, yes, we are going to do this from tomorrow. Yeah.
Last question from my side. In Supreme Court, there has been some recent criticism that, there are lots of cases of constitutional importance that are pending in the Supreme Court. But still there are lots of, non-issues that Supreme Court keeps on hearing on a regular basis, which are sort of appeals from a lower court. There were, even they are hearing appeals against Motor Vehicles Act, some claim settlement. So don't you think that the character of Supreme Court has changed and something has to be done regarding this? And if there is a solution, what would you suggest as a solution?
Sir, as you very rightly pointed out that yes, these cases are lingering.
Can you point some cases which are pending in Supreme Court which are constitutional importance?
Yes, sir. So the first case is with respect to Jammu and Kashmir 370 abolition.
Very right.
Then we can talk about electoral bonds, that is also pending. Then, if I'm not wrong, CA is also challenged in the Supreme Court. So these are pending, sir.
Yep.
So, and this is a sad state of affairs that they are lingering for like 2, 3, 4 years. And what we can do is we can have the special constitutional bench who regularly listen to those constitutional matters. In this case, these are certain constitutional matters. 14 to 15 cases are pending with respect to important constitutionality of laws in the Supreme Court. And this is a sad state of affairs that in the wake of facing pandemic, we are not able to hear to the constitutional matters. We should hear them, and special constitutional benches must be working day and night for this.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thanks a lot.